Action tonight to a stunning A lot of mixed reaction tonight to a stunning video showing a dog attacking a security guard inside the San Francisco Main Library. The dog's owner is facing charges. The dog itself is with animal control. Its future uncertain. Here's NBC Bay Area's Terry McSweeney.
A terrifying scene playing out on the third floor of the city's main library on Larkin Street. A dog biting and not letting go of a security guard while another guard tries to knock the dog away with a stick and then uses what we're told is pepper spray. Neither tactic gets the dog to let go.
It's never happened before.
But Sunday evening, just before 6, it did happen. Security guards were letting people know it was almost closing time.
Apparently, this individual was unresponsive, and in the process of trying to get his attention, his dog unexpectedly attacked our security guard.
The dog's owner finally did wake up and help put an end to this violent scene. Lambert says the security guard is seriously injured. The dog owner has been cited for failure to control his animal, and the dog is in the custody of Animal Care and Control.
I spoke to some library patrons here tonight who are fairly shaken about what happened out here Sunday evening.
It makes me nervous, and unfortunately I'm not surprised because things like this happen quite frequently. And I see that these guys are forced to let a lot of people in that they probably wouldn't otherwise let in. And it's very unfortunate.
That makes me really sad because if it's a service animal, that they are supposed to be trained and approved to be safe in public places. So it's really upsetting.
The library says service animals are welcome, but bad behavior is not tolerated. Moving forward, Lambert is consulting with the mayor's disability advisors and with Animal Care and Control to make sure this first such attack is the last.
We are going to exhaust every option we have to prevent this from ever happening again.
Okay. Welcome back already. I won't be too long with this stream, but I gotta get this off my chest. This is a crazy week, and it is only Wednesday. Only Wednesday. We have yet another example of why dogs, especially bully breeds, should be exterminated. These things don't deserve to be fed. They don't deserve shelter. They deserve to be euthanized. And it should happen all over the planet. These privileged, spoiled, worthless mutants have made a culture out of attacking us. The only creatures on this planet that provides free food and shelter for them. After evolving alongside humans for so long, they are still by far the most aggressive and launch by far the most attacks on humans. Humans who do not have any intention on attacking the dog or the mutt's owner. You dog nuts will try to make excuses for this. But you brag about how well dogs know humans, don't you? I can pull up several articles right now. How you dog nuts brag about how well adapted dogs are to humans, how they know what we're thinking, they know what's on our mind, they're able to detect a good person and a bad person. Yet they're always attacking people who have no intention on harming it or the owner. How do you explain that, dog nuts? Are you pit bull nuts? How do you explain that? Now, there were some things said in this that made me mad. In this clip, and I'm going to play it again and respond.
Security guard, while another guard tries to knock the dog away with a stick and then uses what we're told is pepper spray. Neither tactic gets the dog to let go.
Okay. This is why dogs deserve to be killed. Not pepper sprayed, not tased. How many stories have we covered where a mutt, a bully breed, was tased and nothing happened? Do you know the level of danger this is? You telling me these things deserve love, a home? No, no. They deserve to be rounded up by the government and clobbered across the head. That's what they deserve. Let me be clear. I'm not telling anybody to do that. I'm saying that's what they deserve. And it needs to be sanctioned by the governments. After all this time, these things are still so dumb. They haven't figured out that humans are their #1 ally on this planet. What more do humans have to do to convince dogs to stop attacking them? And you dumb, idiotic, brain-dead dog nuts continue to praise and worship these things.
It's never happened before.
But Sunday evening, just before 6, it did happen. Security guards were letting people know it was almost closing time.
Apparently, this individual was unresponsive and in the process of trying to...
So here you go. This is the result of giving in to these service mutt advocates. On top of that, those advocates who support the idea of pit bulls being service dogs. This is the result of removing breed-specific legislation. This is the result of listening to these stupid, idiotic pit bull advocates. What now? This could have been a child. But that's not some, rare thing. Unfortunately, these things attack children every single day. In fact, they prefer to attack children. And that's the biggest reason why they should be rounded up and exterminated.
Get his attention, his dog unexpectedly attacked our security guard.
The dog's owner finally did wake up and help put an end to this violent scene. Lambert says the security guard is seriously injured. The dog owner has been cited for failure to control his animal, and the dog is in the custody of Animal Care and Control.
I spoke to some library patrons here tonight who are fairly shaken about what happened out here Sunday evening.
It makes me nervous, and unfortunately I'm not surprised because things like this happen quite frequently. And I see that these guys are forced to let a lot of people in that they probably wouldn't otherwise let in. And it's very unfortunate.
That makes me really sad because...
Notice how this woman doesn't even want to be on camera. I shared a video in the community section where another individual, he wanted his voice altered and he wanted the camera to point towards his feet. Did y'all see that? And that's not the first time we've seen this. We've seen this several times where people don't want to be on camera. What does that sound like to you? Doesn't that sound like we're dealing with a terrorist organization? Talk to me. Give me some feedback here. Doesn't this sound like we're dealing with a domestic terrorist organization? I've said many times, these people are the greatest threat. The greatest domestic threat, and it's obvious. It's right there in front of our faces. But yet we still buy this rhetoric from these people that we are supposed to treat dogs with love, treat them like human kids. You dog nuts and your dogs, you are domestic terrorists. Now, listen to what this woman had to say.
That makes me really sad because if it's a service animal, that they are supposed to be trained and approved to.
They're supposed to be trained and approved. Dogs, oh my goodness. It's a shame you have to tell these people that dogs are not some type of app or computer program that you simply punch a few buttons and now it's no longer programmed to attack. There's a huge problem with these lunatics believing that dogs can be trained to never attack. Dogs are wired to attack. That's what they're built for. It's instinct. Anything sets them off, that's by design. There is no training. What are you talking about, training? This is a predator. Don't talk to me about training when you're dealing with a predator. This ain't no goldfish. What the hell is wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people? I truly hate being critical. I wish I could just say positive things about people. I really do. But these people force you to call out their stupidity. And if you don't, you, your family, and your nation, your community will be terrorized. We need to stop putting up with this. So let's see what happens. He said he's going to exhaust all of his resources to make sure this never happens again. But look, all I expect is for them to say that now we demand that you show papers, that you show a history. We have to do a police check, make sure it doesn't have any previous. I expect something stupid like that. In libraries, we all knew this was bound to happen. They up there allowing people to bring dogs into libraries. And what do you need this service mutt? Who needs a pit bull as a service dog? I don't care what that thing is supposed to be trained to do. I don't care if it's a comfort mutt or whatever. Don't tell me you can't find a harmless replacement that's just as effective, if not more effective. You dog nuts. Listen, you lawmakers, don't try to make no stupid argument like that. All you so-called experts, you got something to say? You disagree with something I'm saying? Go ahead and voice it in the comment section. Leave your name, your profession, where we can see your credentials. Put your credentials on the line. You all are scared because I'm going to use your credentials to discredit your profession. That's my goal. I'm not going to hide what my intentions are. I'm going to make you look dumb We are going to make you look dumb and incompetent. And we're going to leverage your credentials. Unbelievable stuff. Now, since we're here and we've already started to expose this nuttery a little bit, it's only Wednesday. Let's briefly deal with some other dog nuttery that took place already this week. Isn't it like there are waves? These dogs, it's like they attack in waves. There'll be very few attacks reported one week, then the next week, boom, it's through the roof. Yeah, the owner was sleeping and unresponsive. This individual brought a pit bull into a library and went to sleep. Yeah, it's that bad. They feel that privileged. We've given them way too much freedom where they feel comfortable to do that. You gonna fall asleep? Why wasn't that mutt tied up or something? He had a leash. You saw there was a leash on that mutt, wasn't it? Doesn't that mean that he was a responsible dog owner? There is a leash on that mutt. So the owner had the dog on the leash. Everything is supposed to be okay, isn't it? Dog nuts. Boy, oh boy. Something else crazy happened. A lot of crazy stuff happened. Share this in the community section. And let's watch it together.
The viciousness that I saw, those dogs, no, they have to go.
A shocking and unrelenting dog attack has neighbors reeling in the South St. Louis neighborhood. Not only were a woman and her dog attacked, but neighbors were also attacked when they tried to step in.
News 4's Jenna Ray joins us live from Tower Grove South neighborhood where this happened. Jenna?
The dog attack happened here at the intersection of Roger Place and Parker Avenue. Take a look. There's still blood staining the sidewalk tonight after that incident happened earlier this morning. Again, several neighbors and their dogs attacked by 3 different dogs here at this intersection. Neighbors telling me the dogs simply just wouldn't stop.
My dog was bleeding profusely from her ear. It was all over her and me. They were just attacking her. They were pulling her ear, which is in horrible condition now. And I just laid down and covered her the best I could and yelled for help.
Lisa Schumacher didn't want to show her face, but says she felt helpless as 3 dogs attacked her and her own dog on their walk Monday morning.
As I got to the very bottom of the street, I saw this lady screaming for help, and she was covering her dog, and there were literally 3 dogs on top of her. I tried to get out and help her and ended up getting overpowered myself. I actually got knocked down twice by those dogs.
Kenneth Eaton, who's lived in the neighborhood for 20 years, says he's never seen anything like this.
They kind of moved like a single-minded unit. The guy that tried to help, they got hit.
I had to stop there. Did y'all hear what she said? She said those dogs move like a single-minded unit. Isn't that the total opposite of how human beings operate? You can't get 3 humans to beat a dog, to attack a dog. If one of them tries to, he's going to get jumped. He or she is going to get jumped. Humans don't do that. But every time a dog attacks, other dogs always join in and help the dog to attack the human. Every single time. There is never a dog that tries to fight off other attacking dogs. That never happens. Yet another reason why dogs deserve to be exterminated. Here yet again, these things demonstrate that they're too dumb to realize that they are attacking the one and only entities on this planet that provides free food and shelter for them. Keep in mind, these things can't even survive out in the wild on their own. They die without us. Totally dependent on human beings. And they still are too stupid to realize that they should not attack us. Wow.
Him down on the ground and attacked him. And then the lady that came to help, they pulled her down to the ground and she was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. And then one of the neighbors across the street also, when she went down, he came out and then the dogs ran across the street and attacked him.
Police arrived after several people and at least one dog were attacked.
She could have been killed in a minute, and so could I have.
Yeah? Yet another individual who doesn't want to show their face. Doesn't this sound like we're dealing with a terrorist organization? They don't want to show their face because they know that these dog nutters are lunatics. And that they might see them out in public and what? Attack them because of what they said about dogs.
We're told the dogs are now in animal control's custody. Every victim says the 3 dogs that attacked them were all wearing collars.
Never occurred to me that a pack of dogs would have that level of intention to just keep coming back over and over.
What the hell? What? Why are people so stupid? She's basically telling you how flippin' brainwashed she is. Dogs are not supposed to do that. They're supposed to be like Snoopy. They're supposed to be like cartoons are. Harmless, loving. Maybe one will attack you, but the others will try to help you out. This is how powerful this brainwashery is. This dog nut propaganda. Where people don't even expect predators to behave like predators. You know you've been sipping on the wrong Kool-Aid when you are talking like this woman here, and this is the norm. This is the norm type of narrative for dog nutters, for people in general, people who have not awakened. They always sound like lunatics. If you don't come to the light in regard to dogs, you're going to sound like a flippin' lunatic. The only way you can sound sane is if you are a crusader. Again, any of you expert, you disagree? I dare you to do it publicly. And it's a shame when even your experts sound like flippin' lunatics. And they all do.
All wearing collars.
Never occurred to me that a pack of dogs would have that level of intention to just keep coming back over and over.
But neighbors who never met saved each other in the moment.
We all live right here together, within a block or 2 blocks of each other. So if you see something, try to help.
The city's health department tells me that the incident that happened this morning is under investigation for now. We're working to find out exactly who owns those 3 dogs and if they'll be cited for this incident. We're live in the Tower Grove.
If they'll be cited for this incident. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Let me try to drive home how insane, how utterly insane people are who are not crusaders. If you don't if you're not an anti-dog person, no matter what you say, you're going to sound crazy. This article surfaced yesterday. Coleman woman hospitalized after dog attack. 2 dogs, Doberman mixes, were taken to the Coleman City Pound where they are being quarantined. The chief explains why the dogs were put into that quarantine. He said, quote, "We do that to make sure the dogs don't have any infectious disease that would impact the recovery of the victim. Also, it gives us time to complete an investigation and figure out," pay attention to this, people, and figure out whether or not we're dealing with vicious dogs or just dogs that got loose and are not a problem for the community. Hello? I'm calling out everybody. Listen, even you people who say, "Oh, I don't hate dogs, but I don't care for them, but I don't hate them." All you in the middlers, I'm calling you out as flipping insane as well. Figure out whether or not we're dealing with vicious dogs or just dogs that got loose and are not a problem for the community. In other words, when dogs get loose, they're supposed to attack. We are forced to accept being attacked. It's like they admit that they know that it's guaranteed that dogs will attack you if they're loose. They're letting you know that dogs want to attack you. Like I've said, whenever they break loose, the first thing they do is look for somebody to attack. Everybody knows this. This is not rhetoric that's just coming from this channel. We all know this. Why aren't we acting on it? Vicious dogs. In other words, the fact that these mutts attacked this woman is not proof that these are vicious dogs. Can you just go out and beat up a random 8-year-old and then enjoy the privilege of them trying to figure out whether or not you're a vicious person? Trying to figure out whether or not you're a violent person? And if you don't have any record of beating up an 8-year-old, they determine, well, it's not a vicious person. Boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy. All of you educated pillars of society, you people who are so full of yourself, who think you're so intelligent, you people make me sick. Every last one of you. Every last one of you. I'm getting to the point where if you're not speaking out against this, you are part of the problem. You're part of the problem. And especially people who come across this content, who come across the facts, who come across any platform where they're presented with the facts, and you remain in the middle of the road. Wow. This is lunacy. So, well, the dog, we have to conduct an investigation. And how many of y'all saw this today? This surfaced today. The judge dismisses charges in deadly Marion County dog attack case. We covered this last year. Y'all remember Shamar Jackson? Straight A student. Let me say straight A student. A perfect example, a model citizen in the making. This judge called, I believe this was the judge who said this, called the incident a tragedy, but said evidence gathered after the arrest showed Cardenas was not at fault. That's the owner of the dog. He said in order to convict, the prosecutor needed to prove that the dog was dangerous, which would have been difficult. They're saying it would have been difficult to prove that the dog was dangerous, because South Carolina has no laws defining certain breeds as dangerous. What are these people talking about? It would have been, let me make sure I understand this. You're saying that it would have been difficult to prove that the dog was vicious because there are no laws defining certain breeds as, what are you talking about? Nobody cares what breed it is. Nobody's concerned about checking no breed and the reputation of no stupid breed. The dog proved that it's vicious. What are you talking about? This why I cannot respect people who blindly praise the law. Follow the law, better follow the law. Don't break the law. You better, while you're saying stuff like that, also be talking about laws that need to be changed. I cannot figure out this. I can't figure this out. What in the world are they talking about? It was difficult to prove. This dog, yeah, he killed this boy, but man, it's difficult to prove that this is a vicious dog. I mean, has the dog ever done it before? Wow. You dog nuts. You are some. What is wrong? What is wrong with these people? And you notice it's very hard for them to snap out of it. All of them. It's almost impossible for them to snap out of this lunacy. Now, I shared something else in the community section. Let's go back to that. People, I'm in one of those moods. I'm in one of those moods.
Well, a Coleman woman is now in the hospital following a Monday morning dog attack. Coleman PD saying that she is currently in stable condition. Some Coleman residents, though, say this attack speaks to a larger problem in their community and has had for years.
KTAB's Noah McKinney brings us their grievances and a response from the chief of police. One interviewee has asked to remain anonymous, and their voice has been disguised to protect their identity.
Everybody I know and talk to is...
How about that? Again, doesn't it sound like we're dealing with a terrorist organization? People, a lot of people think I exaggerate. I go over the hill. I make wild statements here, just crazy. The proof is all over the place. Why is it tradition? It's tradition for people to hide their identity when they know they're about to speak against dogs. Is that not what's going on here? People afraid because they know we're dealing with a terrorist organization, lunatics who will attack you for what you said.
Really frustrated that nothing's ever done, that these dogs run loose on the street, and anybody knows it's just a matter of time for somebody's going to get hurt really bad.
A 53-year-old woman in Coleman was badly injured Monday morning, attacked by two Rottweiler mixed dogs near the intersection of Colbert and Vale Street.
As far as we know, she's in stable condition. I've got an officer who's trying to talk to her. She is talking today, and so an officer's trying to talk to her to find out from her exactly what happened.
The woman saved by two men who happened to pass by and managed to get the dogs off of her, though not before she received severe injuries.
Now, I want to interrupt briefly because I want to draw your attention to the mutant anger the mutant rage, the abnormal anger and fits of rage that dogs display as the out of control mutants that they are. Look at this mutt.
Though not before she received severe injuries.
Look, what in the world? There's literally nothing even close to this mutt. And it is in a rage. It is barking so loud and hard that its front paws completely lift up off the ground. That is how hard this thing is projecting its head back to make sure its bark is heard as wide as possible. And you're telling them you want to talk to me about training these things? Are you out of your mind? Literally, people, no other animal on this planet is this aggressive. And they are like this for absolutely no reason. Nothing is around them. The only thing this mutt probably see is the cameraman, who ain't bothering it. They evolved around humans for thousands of years, right? You mean to tell me they still can't figure out when somebody's not a threat? That they will just look at us and go into a fit of rage like this? This mutt almost does a backflip. It's barking with so much rage and vigor. Again, this is why these things deserve to be exterminated. You still in our society, in our territory. We feed you, clothe you, and you still carry this much hostility towards us as humans. These things deserve to be rounded up by our government and set on fire. I don't care what I don't care what you think about that. That will please me more than euthanasia. Unfortunately, our government would look at that as animal cruelty. So at the very least, these things need to be spayed, neutered. They should not be allowed to reproduce. All right, let's continue with this crazy story.
The woman saved by two men who happened to pass by and managed to get the dogs off of her, though not before she received severe injuries.
The bites were serious. There's no doubt about it.
Interim Police Chief Chris Bratton says the solution to prevent incidents like this is clear.
People need to keep their dogs under their control. I would love it if animal control was board on.
Didn't I tell y'all? This guy is not an anti-dog person. And because he's not an anti-dog person, he sounds flipping insane. People need to keep their dogs under control. You know that's impossible. So why say that? There is no way that 100% of dog owners is going to be able to control their dogs and prevent those dogs from launching an attack, either on themselves or someone else. That is impossible, and you know it. So stop saying that. Stop. All of you. Listen, the Crusaders, we are not cut from the same cloth as you. We are immersed in common sense and logic. I mean, we literally get high off of it. And if you don't join us, you're on the side of stupidity. It is as simple as that. No, the solution is not that people need to keep their dogs under control. The solution is that they need to be rounded up and exterminated. That is how you get rid of this problem. And there is nothing that these things provide for us that is worth accepting the attacks and diseases that they give to us.
on a daily basis, but they're not.
Still, one longtime citizen says animal control is not doing enough.
Over 80% of the time you'll never see a patrolman come by, and very rarely do you ever see the dog catcher come up or do anything, or if that person does show up, when they leave, the dog's still there. So nothing's ever done.
This man says.
Now y'all heard what he said. And now it's totally understandable why he masked his identity so much. He not only did not want his face on camera, he wanted his voice altered. Why? Because he's being totally honest. He's not withholding the truth at all. He's being logical right now and telling the truth. That's all he's doing is telling the truth. And he's scared to tell the truth. Doesn't that sound like we're dealing with a terrorist organization? He's scared to tell the truth. He knows his life will be in danger. Where are you law enforcers and lawmakers? Why is it citizens out here being humane? Why not you? Why aren't you trying to protect and serve? There is no excuse. There's no excuse for only people in some hole in the wall channel on YouTube to be talking about this.
Very rarely do you ever see the dog catcher come up or do anything, or if that person does show up, when they leave, the dog's still there. So nothing's ever done.
This man says he and his family have been charged at, growled at, and even considered moving to get away from it all.
They need to start finding the people or put the dogs down. One or the other. They need to be held responsible.
Interim Chief Bratton offers pushback to that idea, saying the city catches 400 to 500 dogs a year.
Community has to take some responsibility for making sure their friends, their neighbors know, keep your dog locked up.
Hope is not lost. Y'all hear what he just said, didn't you? He basically said, people, citizens, you need to take matters into your own hands. People, that is our right. That's in the Constitution. You can enforce the law. You can enforce safety in your own community. You don't have to let these people terrorize you. And that's all they're doing with these dogs, is terrorizing the community. You heard this man just say that he considered moving away because of it. People scared to walk outside, scared to tell the truth, and when they do, they want to mask their identity. People, listen, the general population is not going to put up with this for much longer. The world is going to change. This country is going to, the whole world is going to change. It's going to change drastically as far as our relationship with dogs. There is no way common sense like this can ever go away or be buried after it has been arrived at. No way. Because it's irrefutable. This is domestic terrorism.
100 dogs a year.
Community has to take some responsibility for making sure their friends, their neighbors know, keep your dog locked up.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Noah McKinney.
Thank you, Noah. Interim Chief Bratton says the dogs involved have been detained by the city and will be held for 10 days. If they are deemed vicious, they will still be returned to the owners, though they will have to post bond and purchase a specific type of secure housing for the dog or put them up for adoption. Chief Bratton says the dogs involved have been detained by the city and will be held for 10 days. If they are deemed vicious, they will still be returned to the owners, though they will have to post bond and purchase a specific type of secure housing for the dog or put them up for adoption.
Did y'all hear that? I hope everybody caught that. I played it twice. They said if the dogs are found to be vicious, then they might give the dogs back to the owner or put the dogs up for adoption. They said that would happen if the dogs are deemed to be vicious. If they do their little stupid investigation and they determine these dogs are vicious, they're saying it might go up to adoption, for adoption. End up on a mutt shelter website where they're talking about, oh, it's insecure right now. They're going to conceal, they're going to hide the fact that this dog was deemed vicious. You know they're not going to tell anybody. And this is what goes on in this dog nutter world, these shelters and all of this. If that's what you're going to do, if you determine that the dog is vicious, why waste our money? Why waste time determining if it's vicious if you're not going to do nothing about it? If you're just going to turn around, give them right back to the owner, or put the mutt up for adoption. Boy, wow. What geniuses came up with these laws? You can tell dog nutters, hardcore dog nutters, make these laws. This is not coming from anti-dog people. And I'm telling you, there's going to be an eruption. There's going to be civil chaos in the near future over these worthless mutts. This has gone on for far too long. I cannot believe this has been tolerated for as long as it has. Now, this is all stuff that happened this week, people. All this stuff has surfaced this week, just in the last few days. But I think it'll do me and all of us some good to end this stream with this story. Okay, well, maybe not. I got something else to share as well. I shared this in the community section. Let's watch it together.
All new at 10, javelina invasion at a North Phoenix apartment complex. A resident and her dog attacked on site, and complex management says they're running into roadblocks getting these animals relocated. ABC 15's Ashley Paredes reporting off North Valley Parkway near the Phoenix Sonoran Preserve.
Javelina takeover at this Phoenix apartment complex, seen roaming throughout the grounds over the past several months.
They're right behind us, and I'm like, Cam, run, let's get out of here.
I've seen them walking my dog, and I kind of just like stomp at them or bow up at them, and they'll scurry away.
Management for Marquee at Sonoran Preserve sending residents an email warning them of a javelina attack on Wednesday.
Neighbors tell us a woman was walking her dog on this sidewalk when they were attacked. It just so happens that a wash runs through the complex, so we're told the javelina came up from there.
The woman apparently getting hurt trying to save her dog. Their conditions unclear.
And the javelina, they come out at night sometimes up on that patio, and she didn't see him and just kind of got scared, spooked or whatever, and I think they just attacked her dog.
Dalton Gregson lives in that same building, also working in maintenance at the property.
We have these little sprinklers that spray up water. They'll chew the lines on the water and get the water to come out, and they'll like waller in it.
This video shows a javelina thoroughly enjoying it. Although seemingly cute, Arizona Game and Fish saying they can be vicious.
When they smell dogs or see dogs, they think coyote, and that's basically the arch enemy of their babies.
What? Huh? How embarrassing. Huh? Y'all hear that? Did y'all catch that? My goodness. First of all, they lied on these javelinas, saying that they can be vicious. No, they're only vicious towards dogs. Yeah, let's get that straight.
Arizona Game and Fish saying they can be vicious.
When they smell dogs or see dogs, they think coyote, and that's basically the arch enemy of their baby.
arch enemy of their babies. These things were not attacking people. They were attacking the dogs. And she's telling you right now that they always attack dogs. How many animals on this planet know right on sight that dogs are the enemy? That they are vicious predators, out of control predators that you cannot trust. And what's even worse, she said that the javelina thinks coyote. Dogs are worse than coyotes. Dogs are not as discreet. They are more aggressive than coyotes. So these things are even more justified. We saw a deer attack dog on sight. We saw monkeys trying to really exterminate dogs not long ago, a few weeks ago. People here recently, an owl attacked a worthless mutt. Let's finish this.
Property management telling residents that Maricopa County Animal Care and Control is refusing to remove them due to the location being their natural habitat. But you can scare them away.
So a lot of people would tiptoe around or take video and be real quiet. That's exactly the opposite of what you should do. You should make a lot of noise. You should bang pots and pans.
Make sure not to feed or try to touch them. But some folks telling us they do like looking at them.
Listen to that. These things don't sound like they're human aggressive at all. Now, I'm not familiar with these things. This is an Arizona thing. So anybody in the chat room or watch this video, you from Arizona, enlighten us. Are these things aggressive towards humans? Are they as aggressive towards humans as dogs are? It does not sound like it. Sound like the only people who might be in altercation with them is people with dogs. So here you have javelina, like a member of the pig family, right? More adapted to human beings than dogs. Even though dogs have evolved much closer to humans than they have. More proof, more evidence. These things are dumb. They have not adjusted or adapted to us. They are unbelievably, dangerously dumb. Haven't figured out how to exist in peace with the only organisms that give them free food and shelter. You would think that we would have triggered some type of natural instinct in their brain after so many years of giving them free food and shelter, that we would have by now altered the way that they view us to the point where they never attacked us. No, it's the exact opposite. They still attack us more than any other animal, more than animals that have not evolved alongside us. Now you'll find some people who are not anti-dog people who will talk to you about, oh, how dogs evolved beside us, and they'll talk as if dogs are acceptable in society. And listen, those people will sound like lunatics. They're going to sound crazy. If you are not a crusader, you're going to sound like a lunatic. Don't be a member of that group. Stay far away from that. No, join us. You join us. Be on the side of common sense. You don't need education to have common sense. It's free. If you forfeit that, it doesn't matter what else you acquire. You're going to be dysfunctional on this earth when you forfeit your common sense. I don't care how much education you get. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So good for these things. Good for these pigs. Good for the monkeys. And everything else that knew on sight that dogs were vicious, violent, bloodthirsty predators that have no rightful place on our planet. All wild animals know that. They have no right. They don't deserve to exist on our planet. There's no arguing against that. Dog left screaming with a huge gash after being attacked by an owl. A dog was left screaming with a large wound. Was outside on January 8th. We heard my dog screaming in the backyard. She was hurt. We opened the door and she had a huge gash on her leg. Okay. Y'all notice how animals that are not even predators attack dogs? They should be the last one to attack predators. Carnivores. You can tell they have such a natural disdain and discontent for dogs' existence that all natural animals look at them and try to exterminate them. It's only stupid humans who do the exact opposite of that. And that's why it's only humans who have their babies and kids attacked on a daily basis, regular basis. It's part of the culture. Don't be on that side. That's beyond the side of stupidity. I mean, you're insane, you're demonic, you're participating in satanic lifestyles at that point. You don't want to be on that side. No, join us. Whoever you are, wherever you are. These worthless mutts, good for nothing, too dumb to appreciate anything. Too dumb. This woman was away on quarantine. She caught COVID and quarantined for 14 days. She had surveillance camera on her house. She said she left plenty of food for the dog. You look behind the dog, you see this big, massive bowl of food, and it's still full of food. And the dog destroyed her house, and it destroyed something new every single day. So here again, the dog is demonstrating dumbness, stupidity. Are you not aware? Are they so dumb that they don't know that they're not supposed to destroy their master's home? If they don't do this when the master is there, but they'll do it when the master leaves, what does that tell you? That it knows better and doesn't care. Waits till you leave and does what it wants. And this is the animal that has evolved alongside humans for so many thousands of years. They know what we're thinking. You dog nuts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This brain dead, worthless mutt destroyed this woman's house. I mean, utterly destroyed it. Do you know that she came out her face and said, well, I'm still thankful. At least the dog is healthy. Yeah. Look up that article. It's pretty crazy. There's nothing that dogs offer us that is that valuable. The things they offer us really is not valuable at all. Several things can relieve stress, anxiety, loneliness. Several things that are absolutely harmless. And we need to explore those other options ASAP. As somebody pointed out, I think on my most recent stream, heroin reduces stress and anxiety. You don't see people in groups going out to libraries, vaccination clinics, promoting heroin. You know, just because some stupid study found that dogs can help relieve stress and anxiety. You know, just like you view heroin as a ridiculous solution, dogs are even more of a ridiculous solution. At least heroin is completely under our control. So big shout out to everybody who joined me here. Mr. Payne, Moochie, Jupiter, Kitten, We Hate Dogs. Who was it? Alpha, Perkelly, Lillian, Laura, Jupiter, Ashar. Big shout out Gerara. A lot of members who joined us here. Annabelle, Beanie Girl. Oh my goodness. Chicks Driving Sticks. All right. Mike Will. And anybody else that I may have missed. Feels good to not be alone. To not feel like I'm the only sane person in the world. And it feels good to vent my disgust for this evil, evil culture. And I hope more than anything that we snap out of it as we continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners.